Off the road with 3 wins in their pocket, the Sox are back home to Chicago to take on the second-place team in the AL East, the Yankees, trying to track down the Red Sox for their throne after being swept over the weekend. Thanks for joining us once again. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. And look, the Sox went to Tampa, won 3 straight. That's 4 straight overall for the Sox, the first 4-game win streak for the team this year.
It's nice to see in dramatic fashion how these games ended. The last at bat for the Sox, each and every one of those wins in Tampa. We'll take a look at it. It starts with Yoan Moncada. This is Friday night. Engel scores, and that's all the Sox would need. And then Leury lays one down, and courtesy of some leaky defense, the Sox win another one as that one gets away. And Daniel Palka just unloaded on one, the 2-run homer. Sox only needed one of those runs, but it gave them a little insurance and felt pretty good, as for the first time in 2.5 years, they sweep a road series.
That was against Tampa Bay. Now the Yankees are in town, one of the wild card teams in the American League, but they are falling pretty quickly.
Yankees had a tough series against Boston in Boston. They lost all 4. They're 9.5 games back. For the division, it looks a little tough for them, but it's not for lack of effort. As you can see, it's a good team, but they picked a bad time to start losing, and Aaron Judge picked a bad time to fracture his right wrist. He's been out since July 26th. Things have not gone very well with him, but you'd have to figure they're going to be in the postseason, depending on what Oakland does, what Seattle does. But the Yankees right there, they've got to right the ship if they're going to get it together, however.
They'll try to do it against the Sox, who are playing their best baseball here in 2018, trying to recapture what they had on the road. Dylan Covey on the mound, his sinker, trying to keep the pinwheels from going if they were for the Yankees. Sox are trying to hit them out with great authority. Sox and Yankees, game 1.
Baseball on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Toyota. Tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. By Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. And by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Miller Lite, hold true.
Looked like earlier we might have rain by this time tonight, but the skies have not opened up. In fact, there's some blue sky overhead as the Sox and the Yankees get together for game number 1 of their season. And the Sox have made some roster moves today that have changed the look of the roster. Leori Garcia injured yesterday. A left hamstring strain has him on the DL, so Ryan Lamar comes up from AAA Charlotte. Kevin Smith back from the paternity list, and then Dustin Garneau down to AAA Charlotte. So Garneau gets to play the 1 game and back to AAA. So Dylan Covey on the mound for the Sox, and he will face Aaron Boone. Starting lineup brought to you by the Webb Auto Group, and it begins with Brett Gardner, the left-hander, then Stanton, the big-time power hitter, Gregorius Hicks, Gleyber Torres, Greg Bird, Miguel Andujar, Neil Walker, and Kyle Higashioka, the catcher.
The defensive setup for our Sox, and now Ricky Renteria is going to put him out there tonight with Nicky, Adam, and Abisail in the outfield, left to right. Then it's Yomer, Tim, Yoan, and Jose in the infield. Kevin Smith gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher is Dylan Covey. Hoping to have a good sinker tonight. He's going to need it against a team that can put some runs up. On for his 15th start, he's 4-7. His ERA a touch above 5.5, and there you look at the rest of the numbers, with left-handers really hurting him to the tune of .282. The umpires for the game tonight, Bruce Dreckman has the plate. Chad Fairchild's at first, Mike Esterbrook is at second, and the crew chief, Angel Hernandez, is at third. So it's turned into a very nice night for baseball. Didn't look like it was going to be that way, but apparently the weather is going to stay out of the picture. We should play a full ball game, and the Sox trying to prolong their season-long winning streak. To do that, they got to get by a very good Yankee ball club.
A 5-time world champion and Palos Heights
Hey,
native,
look, it's our old friend Kendall Coyne.
And she announces the start of tonight's game.
Hey, Southsiders, let's play ball.
Well done.
Nice gold medal.
Yeah, we got to
That
hold
was
it.
that was thrilling.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
They are they're a little heavier than even they look.
they are that.
Brett Gardner leads it off. First time the Sox and Yankees play all season comes on August the 6th. Funky scheduling this year and in pockets for most teams around baseball. We talked about it, the development of the Rays not going to Toronto yet. As Dylan Covey throws first pitch ball, we're underway from Guaranteed Rate Field. 7-11 first pitch time tonight. Dylan Covey against a team that has hit the most home runs in Major League Baseball this year. The Yankees with 175 of them, by far first place in baseball.
And they don't run very often, but when they do, Gardner is one of those guys that's going to run. He's 10 out of 11 in stolen bases, so keeping him off base at the top is a key.
It's that running fastball for a strike that's really tough on left-handers. Yeah, by far is 20 home runs more than the Dodgers.
And even with Sanchez and Judge out, they still have a powerful team.
Upstairs 3-1 on Gardner, and they will wait you out too. The Yankees' 6th most walks in baseball this year to go along with that prolific power. 3-1 is in there. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Gardner, and Aaron Judge with a fractured wrist still on the bench. Still some time away from playing for the Yankees. At the time of the injury, they said 3-4 weeks maybe.
It's a tough injury to come back that soon, but they certainly can use him.
Strike 3 called in the upper reaches of the zone. 1 gone.
Bruce Dreckman rings him up, and this one floats and uses the whole plate. Comes across just a little above the belt. I mean, that's a pretty good pitch. You're going to take those, you're going to get rung up all night, and Gardner could not judge the movement, and it cost him a strikeout.
We've seen Dylan Covey be lethal to left-handers with that pitch that squeezes its way over even the middle of the plate, as Stanton doesn't see a first pitch fastball for good reason.
Can't blame Dylan there.
25 home runs for Giancarlo Stanton this year. That's in there for a strike. 0-2.
Well, that was a curveball on the first pitch, a straight change on the second, and that is much un-Covey-like.
High fastball. He lays off. 1-2.
Now, he didn't throw it on the first pitch. It was a breaking ball, but a changeup on the second pitch is rare also. Covey this year, 3.3% of the time he's thrown an off-speed pitch on the first pitch.
Yeah, he doesn't throw that stuff much at all. I mean, he's about 3/4 of the time he's throwing that sinker.
But when the sinker is right, the sinker is very good. The problem is if you get it up some, it doesn't work quite as well. And those ground balls, as they will be later on, will be line drives and fly balls early.
2-2. First base. Abreu snares it. And out number 2. All right, so here's a look at what Dylan throws and the batting average against. He's gone change up to the tune of 114, the sinker at 294, the slider 359. But again, we don't see it very much.
No, don't see it a lot. And just because the sinker is at 294, you can't stop throwing it because that is his pitch.
Yeah, it gives you the chance to make the changeup as good as those numbers suggest.
So keep the sinker down, and he's going to be in good shape.
Up high for ball 1 on Didi Gregorius, who's become a major part of this Yankees lineup. You see the 20 home runs for him this year. Last season for Gregorius, in 136 games, he hit 25 homers. Year before, 20 homers. But 2015, his arrival year with the Yankees, 9 homers in 155 games. So he has really found his power the last couple of seasons. He takes a strike.
Not only found the power, but he's hitting in the middle of the Yankee order, which gives him a great opportunity to drive in some runs.
There is that formidable crew for the New York Yankees. On the ground, Moncada roams over to make the play in a 1-2-3 inning. A strikeout and 2 balls on the infield for Covey. Genesis and Hyundai's at the best price. Go to webcars.com. Moncada, Sanchez, Abreu, Polka the game winner yesterday. Avi, then Delmonico, Anderson, Smith back, and Engel.
And there you look at the defense, left to right. It's Gardner, Hicks, and Stanton in the infield. It's Neal, Didi, Glaber, and Gregg with Kyle behind the plate. And our experience amazing starting pitcher is Lance Lynn. Lynn on for his 21st start. There you look at the numbers. They have not been all that good this year, although almost as many strikeouts as innings pitched. That's not bad, but left-handers have really hurt him. He is pretty much an entirely fastball pitcher.
Sox have seen him already this year, and he fires it a strike to Yoan Moncada. Lance Lynn, the 11th pitcher to start a game for the Yankees this season. He was originally in the bullpen. His first appearance came out of the bullpen as Sonny Gray has been sent there. The Yankees shape-shift their rotation, setting up for what looks to be a wild card berth.
Well, I think one of the reasons they acquired Lynn was to give them some insurance. I mean, they acquired Happ. He was a guy they really wanted as a left-handed starter in the middle of that rotation, so he came from Toronto. Then they got Lynn as an insurance policy, and Sonny Gray was not getting the job done, so Gray moves out, Lynn moves in.
That's there for strike three. Moncada didn't like the delayed call, but it was in the zone, and one gone. So you're talking about the guys they got for the starting rotation. Zach Britton as well is in the bullpen at .322 for his major league career, but Happ and Lynn to prop up the starting rotation, and like they needed more strikeouts in that bullpen.
Yeah, that's become a very, very strong pen. Now, if they can get their offense healthy, then they can make a pretty good run at the postseason, which you would expect this team is going to be there. Just a question of righting the ship now after a long losing streak.
5 in a row in the loss column for the Yankees, who still have the third best record in the American League, but the A's are coming for them at 67-46.
Boy, the A's have been playing unbelievable baseball.
This is where you look at the schedule and you say, glad they're not on the schedule anymore. Although close up, it would be fun to see exactly how well they were playing, as it is Game of Thrones night. We've crowned a queen.
I saw the throne.
It's a large throne.
Very nice looking. Thinking of taking it on the road with me.
The throne?
What do you think? Yeah. There you see the wild card standings. Yankees and Athletics right there with the Mariners 2.5 games back, and the Rays a distant 10.5 back.
Dave Ross, our graphics guy, must be a Rays fan because they showed up on the graphic even though they're 10.5 behind. They are at 500, and they do, as Dave says, have a favorable schedule down the stretch.
It's really favorable.
He's also wearing a Rays hat in the truck, we think. 1 on, 1 out, Abreu coming up. And let's tell you what you're going to see in our telecast other than the White Sox and the Yankees, things that we will bring you on our menu. Michael Kopech will be involved, and so you watch for that. Oh, you mesmerize the Yankees. And then Melky diving all over Progressive Field, all over the place.
Anybody can do that. It's the Flying Melky.
Oh, and 1 to Abreu. Sanchez over at first. Polka on deck. And the pitch outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jose has really turned on the Jets.
If you make a mistake these days with him in the zone, he's going to hit it hard. He's just not missing anything.
No, it's going to center field too,
Yep.
which is a great sign. He yanked that ball to left at Tropicana Field that he demolished. And after batting practice, I walked by the batting cage. There was one guy in there taking swings, and I just poked my head in to see who it was. I had a sneaking suspicion that it might be 79, and it was indeed.
Lynn was a pretty good pitcher with St. Louis. However, he really hasn't found his footing yet in the American League for whatever the reason. He throws a lot of fastballs, and maybe that's what's getting him in trouble.
Tapper first base side. Bird off the bag. 2 down. Sanchez to second base. We say hello to the third member of our broadcast team for the first time in a couple days, Chuck Garfien.
Hey, Jason, I want to go back to yesterday in Tampa. We're talking about Daniel Palka. He hit that 439-foot home run in the 9th inning. He had been 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts before then. And he said, you know what? There's no way I'm striking out 5 times. I can make a difference in this game. So he was watching Diego Castillo, the reliever for the Rays. He was throwing everything down. The guys were chasing it, and he said, I'm not going to swing at anything down. First pitch, middle of the plate, that was his pitch. He hit it out of the park for that big home run that gave the White Sox the win.
That was middle away right there. There's a strike. And if you want to see the home run or listen to the home run, that thing resonated through Tropicana Field.
Thigh-high fastball and gone in a heartbeat. And that got out very quickly.
And it reminded me of a story that Paul Konerko told when he was in Cooperstown. I asked him about one of his favorite memories of Jim Thome. And he said that they were in Tampa facing the Rays one year, and Konerko was on deck, and Thome hit a home run that was so loud he actually flinched. He wasn't ready for it. And so I asked Avi Garcia, who was on deck yesterday, and he said Palka's home run, wow. He said it was extremely loud. That's the kind of power he had behind it.
Great acoustics in that ballpark, but also great left-handed hitting has to create the acoustics.
That's right.
Way up high for Daniel.
And Palka's on pace right now for 25 home runs to finish the season and 371 at-bats. He's taken advantage of his opportunities, certainly in the power department this year.
And hitting off the bench, which is not an easy thing to do, is something that he's done well. So hopefully he doesn't get a chance to do that too often, but when he does, he's been making the most of it. 3 pinch home runs.
Why is that so difficult for a hitter? I mean, it's fairly obvious, but are there some nuances to hitting off the bench?
Yeah, I think a lot of guys don't get quite as loose as they probably should if they're called on later to pinch hit. You never really know if that's going to be the case or not. Depends on the matchups. So you want to take care of yourself, but the guys who don't have a lot of experience pinch hitting don't know exactly what it takes. The best thing to do would be talk to one of those guys that's around the ballpark, some of the scouts who are lifetime pinch hitters. They'll tell you what you really need.
I'll try and track one down during the break.
You never know.
Yeah. Does anybody know where any of the scouts are?
Right downstairs.
That ball almost hit David Robertson.
Oh,
that was
welcome back, Robbie.
Yeah, that was exit velocity 105, right at him.
That'll make you give up.
That'll do it.
Two and two. Upstairs. If Daniel, and I know that one wasn't close, but if Daniel lays off that pitch, he's going to be even tougher to get out. Not that pitch specifically.
Well, right now, it's no secret pitchers are trying to throw him up. If he lays off that pitch, then he's very tough to get out. But it's so tantalizing, it's easier said than done, especially when you have 2 strikes.
Right down the middle, in the air and foul. He's going to want that one back.
I don't think Lynn's going to try to throw that one there again, but he got away with one. That one was middle.
Like as middle as you can get.
That was it. That was right there.
On the ground left side, Didi Gregorius, and he can't uncork the throw. Palka saves Sanchez to third.
That one came off with a lot of spin, and when it found its way into the glove of Gregorius, he couldn't stop it from spinning. He never got a hold of it. This is right off the end of the bat. Gregorius has got to come up firing, and he can't do it. He can't get a grip on the baseball, and so he looks to third, but nobody is home there. Walker was way off the line, thinking he could make that play defensively. He couldn't.
As the ball goes into the glove, that doesn't mean the spin is over. It's still settling in that glove. And Gregorius just figured that out. As Avi has 2 on with 2 out, coming off a multi-home run game for him. Well, Lance Lynn's going to throw you some pitches that look pretty good to hit.
He uses the middle of the plate a lot. And Avi, with a couple of home runs, this one down to one knee, gets just enough of it, takes it out of the ballpark. His best was later on, however, and he drives that one way back in right center.
When he's been healthy this year, he has been a big-time contributor to this offense. And the question coming into this season was, can he duplicate that all-star year from last year? When he's been on the field, he has.
He's actually been a little more powerful this year than last. But when you hit 330, you get a lot of things going right. That's what he did last year, and seemingly everything found a hole up the middle of the diamond.
Sox have the luxury of having seen Lance Lynn a couple times already, and last time here he gave up 8 hits and 4 earned runs in 5 innings. He threw 90 pitches in those 5, and he's on his way to that again. Lance Lynn, mostly fastball.
That's 77% between the 4-seamer and the sinker. They're both fastballs. Then you move to the cutter, which is a variation of a fastball, and pretty much that's what he throws. You can look for hard stuff because you're going to get it.
He breaks it away, 2-2. Every once in a while, he'll throw that surprise breaking ball to jump out of the cake at you.
That's what it is. That was the cutter, and he didn't hit with it.
Two and two. Sanchez at third, Polka at first, and Nicky Delmonico next. Check swing, and he did go. Strike 3, bookend strikeouts for Lynn. He maroons 2 on the base path, and we'll play the second inning after this. And we look forward to it. Could be anything. It could be that.
You never really know. We'll see what jumps off the page early in this one.
Dylan Covey to Aaron Hicks. And a first pitch outside for ball one. Good sign for Covey first inning. 2 ground balls and a strikeout. And Hicks, who's been a very patient hitter in recent days, takes ball 2.
Can't get any more consistent than he's gotten. 247 right-handed, 248 left-handed. And home runs, he's got more power from the right side. He's hit 8 in just 89 at-bats. That's pretty impressive. He's showing you the kind of promise that the Twins thought he had when they drafted him and made him a #1 pick, brought him to the major leagues, gave him a lot of opportunities. He couldn't stick there.
To center field, Adam Engel patrolling for out #1. And now here comes one of the great young players in our game of baseball, Gleyber Torres, just 21 years old. Took him 74 games to get to 50 runs driven in this year.
Been an amazing run for him. He had all kinds of talent, was the #1 prospect of the Cubs for a long time. Came over to the Yankees in the Chapman deal. They eventually got Chapman back. And they have Torres to start for him, which is a good thing because he's a really good player.
The rookie home run leaders in the American League are all here. All in this ballpark.
That's it.
One ball and 1 strike on Torres. And I think, you know, you hear so much about Gleyber Torres, and rightfully so because of his age, but I hope that gives people context for exactly how interesting of a season Daniel Palka has had here in Chicago. A guy that had never been in the majors before. He's got 17 home runs, and yes, he's a couple years older, but in terms of experience at the big league level, he's right there with Torres.
Nobody really knew if Torres would have his opportunity this year. He certainly has made the most of it. So has Andujar.
That Yankees reload that they did at the deadline just a couple of years ago was a quick turnaround for the couple trades they made. 3-1. Popped up. First base side. Abreu for out #2. Your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, your trusted teammate throughout the mortgage process. Experience the difference today at rate.com.
Avi and Jose had a little conversation as Jose wanted that one all the way. Avi had a long way to go to come and get it, and Jose makes those plays exceptionally well.
Two down for Bird, who's had a shortened season with the ankle surgery that kept him out until very late May. Covey's got that fastball moving very well to left-handers tonight.
A lot of the lefties have given up on it early in this one, only to see it come back and catch a good portion of the plate.
Dylan Covey on 1-1. Very close, 2-1. What a beautiful night at the ballpark. We were watching the weather forecast with bated breath at the beginning of the day. It rained earlier. And a great day for a Bird.
And not in evidence tonight.
Did you use your one freebie of the year where you get to say it can't rain tonight? You get one of those,
nope,
right?
I did not use that.
You still have it in reserve.
Making sure that I don't use it prematurely.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Bird. You didn't try to use it in Minneapolis in April, did you?
Nope. Could have for the middle day of that one, but decided against it.
Small fine print though, Mother Nature gets an override every time she wants.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry. In the air left field, Delmonico on the run coming toward the line, and Nikki's not going to have a play on this. Hey, we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Lightstream in Pulaski and Fulton counties in Indiana. We as Americans cannot decide on Pulaski or Pulaski.
Looks like Pulaski in Indiana.
And it's Pulaski in New York, but it's Pulaski here. That's what I grew up with. And we're right. This one hit in the air, center field. Angle for route number 3. 6 up, 6 down for Dylan Covey. No score. Bottom 2 next.
Glacier carved and Pete Dye designed. Play 4 of Golf Digest's top 100 golf courses, including Whistling Straits.
Glacier carved?
Yes. I just read it, don't write them. Home of the 2020 Ryder Cup. Yes, Glacier carved and Pete Dye designed. Just in case you were wondering who designed it or who carved it.
Glaciers carve valleys, I guess? Is that?
Golf courses.
Right, but valleys on the golf courses?
No, just the golf courses. They leave the valleys.
There are no valleys on golf courses?
No.
Thanks for joining us. 2 balls and no strikes on Delmonico. Sox had 2 on in the first inning. Sanchez a walk, Polka a single on the infield. A couple snarky tweeters have asked what the exit velocity on Daniel Polka's ground ball was. It's going to hurt his exit velocity for the season.
It really will.
Which is too bad because he is right up there on the leaderboard for home run exit velocity. But, you know, that one today, off the bat at 51 miles an hour.
That'll slow things down for you.
Sometimes as a hitter, you've got to throw him the changeup, too. Keep him off balance. I think Nicky's a little unhappy with himself on that ball. He wanted to hit that fair and long.
Looked like Lynn dropped his arm angle a bit, and that one got a big portion of the plate.
Two and two, Lynn to Nicky. Upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So short counts are not the specialty of Lance Lynn.
No, and he gets there very slowly, too. So At least nothing has changed since he put on that Yankee uniform, because he was really slow with Minnesota.
Yeah, a lot of pitches.
Yeah.
Time between pitches.
Well, because he doesn't use a lot of breaking pitches. At 3-2, you get a lot of foul ball.
Yeah.
I mean, because his fastball has some movement, doesn't have a whole lot of it, and guys get a piece. So they keep very long at bats against him.
33 pitches, nobody out, second inning. That's strike 3, 95, slightly elevated, one gone. Sox fans, join us as the White Sox take on the Royals August 18th, 6:10 p.m. First 20,000 fans get a Tim Anderson bobblehead presented by Guaranteed Rate, your trusted teammate throughout the mortgage process. Get started today at rate.com. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com. The one thing we should note about that bobblehead is kids, be careful when you're sliding hand first into the bag. George Springer has a little bit of an issue.
You know, as more people have decided to use the head first slide, less people understand a whole lot about the slide, and they wind up getting hurt. So although as a kid you do practice a lot the feet first slide, that pretty much is what kids do most of the time anyway. It seems like a whole lot of people employing the head first slide don't know how to do it real well and wind up getting hurt doing it.
On the ground up the middle, but playable. For Torres for out number 2, Chuck Garfien.
Kevin Smith coming to the plate right now, and he and his wife Jessica welcomed their first child on Thursday. There is the photo of Jessica. They called it the best day of their lives. His name is Wyatt Daniel Smith, and he is named after former White Sox reliever Daniel Webb, who passed away tragically last October. And Smith was talking before the game here today, and he revealed that little Wyatt Daniel has 2 webbed toes.
Oh my goodness.
And Kevin said that was Webby putting a stamp on him. He was quoted as saying he keeps showing us ways that he's watching over us. So there's Daniel Webb in the mind of Kevin Smith, revealing himself in his little son. How about that?
That is a terribly remarkable thing.
And mom and baby are doing great. And he actually said they're sleeping, or he's sleeping pretty good at night, and they hope to have more babies in the future. So a great day, great moment in time for the Smith family. Congratulations to them.
Well, if Wyatt's gonna have the Team Smith shirt on, you got to grow Team Smith, right? I mean, that's part of the deal there. But congratulations to Kevin, who really has been through so much to get to the major leagues himself. I mean, the back injury a couple of years ago, nearly loses the whole season, then finally gets his opportunity. This year has to suck it up and go to AAA at the beginning of the year, finally gets an opportunity and has paid it off.
That's really been one of the trademarks of his career, and it's an unfortunate attribute. He got hurt a lot when he had opportunities. And sometimes your body just betrays you, but you root for guys like Kevin because it took him so long to get here. It took him a while to get to the major leagues. He's a terrific guy, understands his business. He's gotten better just in the last year we've seen him. And he's had the opportunity this year and really done well with it.
Wide of first and foul. Especially as a pitch receiver this year, we've seen improvement behind the plate from Kevin.
I think Kevin realized that with a very young staff, and a lot of this staff is, you're going to have to get better defensively to help them out. And that's probably the biggest improvement in his game. He is hitting over 300. He's done that most of this year. But the real improvement in his game has been on the defensive side of the equation. He's gotten pretty good at it.
Two balls and 2 strikes on Smith from Lynn. Another foul ball. Look, he's not dancing around zone number 6 as they have it on the game day zones. When you look up hitting zones, that's zone 6 right in the middle.
He's putting him right down the middle and getting away with some very hittable pitches early in this one.
ball inside. 3-2. Third ball from Lance Lynn.
Adam Engel in the on-deck circle, waiting patiently to see if Kevin can keep the inning alive.
Called strike 3, and a 1-2-3 inning here in the second. We'll go to the third. No score.
Presented by Chick-fil-A. You shouldn't miss it either. Join
I
Ozzie
love
Guillen,
baseball, so I'm one of the people you're talking to.
Doug Glanville, and Layla Rahimi, and Jason Maybe, as they break down the biggest stories surrounding the Sox and Cubs. Baseball night in Chicago tomorrow at 6:30 on NBC Sports Chicago.
Miguel Andujar, a ground ball to third. Sanchez throws it out, one gone. I have to visit the apology department.
Okay.
The zone I was talking about is zone 5, not zone 6. I don't think anybody's going to really care about that. But the Bennett K was the first person to tweet in and ask the exit velocity on Daniel Palka's ball that he hit.
Yes.
And then he tweeted back and said, "I have a name, Jason Benetti. Don't just call me Snarky." Now you're really being snarky, but we will say your name. It's our
Is his name
wheel.
Smarky?
Smarky?
Yeah. Is that it?
One down for Walker. His name's the Bennett K.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
there. He got a whole inning. All about him. Congratulations, the Bennett K. And he's Smarky.
Could be.
Second base, Moncada. Snaps it up and throws him out. 2 down. Chuck, take us away.
Yeah, it's a great start so far for Dylan Covey, and he says when things are going good for him, he's free and easy. He's not overthrowing out there, keeps things simple, and he lets his mechanics take over, and we're seeing that right now. And this is a very good offense, and when Covey is on, he can beat anybody, and I mean anybody. Look what he did against the Red Sox earlier this season. 6 scoreless, gave up 3 hits. The Red Sox are 42-15 at Fenway Park, and Dylan Covey beat him there that day. He's also beaten the Indians, the Brewers, the Mariners. So, Steve, he looks really good so far. What are you seeing from Covey?
Well, I think he told you, Chuck, exactly what he has to do, and that is relax. That's what sinker ballers have to do. Because if a sinker baller gets psyched up, you're too strong, and the ball is not going to go down for you, which is what Dylan lives on. He's thrown 4 ground balls so far, so it looks to me like he's not pressing tonight, at least to this point. And we'll see, Chuck, how he is as he gets in the first bit of trouble and has to go into a stretch.
Higashioka lines it to left field. And that's out number 3. 9 up, 9 down for Dylan Covey. Bottom 3 next. Baseball in style with our new premium business bundle. Sample our all-inclusive guaranteed rate club, Magellan Scout seats, and Diamond Suites for one great price. For more information, 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com/bundle today. That woman in the middle looks like she could be a sideline reporter. Chuck, do you know anything about that?
I do.
You do?
That would be my wife, Liz.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
She looked like she was a reporter, like a budding reporter.
She's certainly good enough to be a reporter.
I think Jason is asking you to change places with her, Chuck.
Maybe I will later.
I was just suggesting that maybe it runs in the family. Pop-up foul territory. Higashioka is there to make the catch. 1 down.
You can't really see the ball right away, and he didn't see it until the very end. And I think that's what Avi earlier had his conversation with Jose about, the fact that he didn't see the ball. This one pops straight up, and right there he can't see it at all. Eventually locating it and then sprinting to the spot to make the catch. That's a good play, especially when you don't locate the baseball right away.
Former 7th-round pick 10 years ago at the Yankees, Kyle Higashioka was playing just his 24th game in the majors tonight. 1 out, Yoan Moncada. And a high fastball gets a swing and a miss.
Higashioka calls a good game. He handles the ball very well. And the question will be, will he get playing time? Because, you know, when Sanchez comes back, he's their everyday guy.
I think the answer to that is
he's going to be their everyday guy.
Yeah, I think it's maybe baked into the.
Well, look, he can swing it real well, and the Yankees, they're going to have to score their way into the postseason, you would believe, except that bullpen looks awfully good.
Well, look, you also have to know what you have in reserve, because nothing says that come September, 2 weeks before first pitch of the wild card game or the divisional round, nothing says all your guys are going to be healthy.
No, what the Yankees, what they would like to do, and you really can't do this because you never know how it's going to play out.
Hold that thought.
I will.
pop up out number 2.
They would love to be able to throw Severino in that one-and-done game, assuming they don't win the division. And at 9.5 back at this point, you'd have to say that's a pretty good assumption.
The good version of him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Severino has not been throwing it real well lately, but that's still the guy that Aaron Boone would like to pitch that game, if in fact they have a chance to get that game pitched by Severino, because they might have to win themselves into that spot. The way Oakland's playing, you'd have to think Seattle would be playing a whole lot better. And it doesn't look like the Red Sox are going to give up any time soon, so I think it's going to be problematic for the Yankees to win the division.
Torres throws out Sanchez. Not a whole lot of base runners tonight. Low scoring, Sox and Yanks. T-Mobile, and it's Dylan Covey on the old Dusty Trail.
He can throw some ground balls. That is his specialty, and that's what he's doing early in this one. So he sawed his way one time through the order, and largely because of that sinker.
Brett Gardner takes ball number 1. So here are the numbers that really stand out as you see what Covey did the first time through. Pitches 16 to 30 and 31 to 45 this year for him. The opponent's average is just over 200. And now the key is keeping it right there as Gardner grounds out. But after that, pitches 46 to 60. Opponent's average is 317. 61 to 75. Opponent's average 319. 76 to 90. Opponent's average 444. 16 for 36. So this is the crucial point in the game for him coming up.
Well, he's done it purely with the sinker to this point. He's throwing a lot of ground balls, and as you would expect, keeping the ball in the infield in general.
So the difference between his success and when it goes poorly for him this year is what?
Getting behind. Because that sinker is good enough where if he throws the sinker early in the count and gets ahead of hitters, they're going to be forced to swing at some sinkers out of the zone. If he doesn't get ahead of the hitters, those good sinkers that are out of the zone, the hitter just looks at him and doesn't offer at him because he's ahead. He doesn't have to swing at a pitcher's pitch if he's ahead. Off
speed it in, 2-1. Stanton's not going to see a whole lot of great stuff to hit, you would imagine, any day.
You would hope he doesn't see too many thigh-high fastballs.
Change up again, 3-1. Top 20 in baseball, Giancarlo Stanton. With his 25 home runs. A little bit low, ball 4. 1 out walk, and Stanton can hit him a long way with the best of them. Yesterday he had a 121-mile-an-hour single, and this is one of the 25. They were booing him early this year. They stopped that. The old play action fake at third.
He can hit. There's no doubt about that.
1 on, 1 out for Didi Gregorius. Stanton neutralized this time around on the walk. And Gregorius takes ball 1. In the air, right field. Angle on the move at the warning track. It's off the wall. Avi's going to have to play it in. The Yankees won't get a run. Gregorius doubles to right. And I think Angle thought Avi was going to make a run for the ball, and it clanged off the wall.
Ball was hit a long way, just missed going out of the ballpark. Gregorius bidding for his 21st home run. He got that one thigh high. That one drifted back out over the plate. And he puts a charge into it. And it looked like Adam gave up his charge to the ball, thinking that Avi was going to make the play.
So second and third, 1 out for Aaron Hicks. Into center field, that's a knock. 1 is in, stop sign at third. And the Yankees take the lead on the RBI single from Hicks.
That's 50 runs driven in for Aaron Hicks. Second time through the order has not proven to be favorable for Dylan. This one just muscled into center field. And that walk with 1 out comes home to roost.
So meeting at the mound, do you think it's more opponents getting a second look at him, or more generally the stuff isn't as good second time through?
Well, I think if he falls behind, he has some problems. That's what we're seeing here. Keep making good pitches in the zone early in the zone, and you put together a solid at bat.
1 in, 2 on Torres, the batter. They're going after first pitches and second pitches in this inning so far. Throw to first on Hicks, who is a threat to steal.
Hicks 8 out of 10 this year.
No balls and a strike, and that will have to wait. Sox will be in New York in just a couple of weeks in late August to finish off the season series with the Yankees. This is a 3-game series, a couple of 7-10 games tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Dollar Hot Dog Wednesday's on the way.
There is, for a Yankee game.
Yankee fans are visiting, certainly, as they typically do everywhere the team goes. No balls, 2 strikes. Torres up the middle and past a diving Anderson. 2-zip Yankees.
That's 51 driven in for Torres. Just barely eases it by Tim Anderson, who got caught in between. Wasn't sure whether to come charge it, whether to wait back, so he goes in the middle and the ball just one hops over his glove.
Second mound visit for the Sox. Looks like that'll go as a hit for
you would think so.
Torres. Not exactly a meteor shower this inning, but, well, other than the Gregorius ball, which was well hit, but 2 runs in, 2 on. Greg Bird.
And that walk to Stanton with 1 out here in this inning put Dylan Covey in the stretch for the first time, and it has not worked well for him. 3 straight hits.
Charged up to center field. Angle at the warning track and the wall. Adam jumps and Adam made the catch. Oh, what a grab! Just over the line. Bring it back, 15.
What a great play by Adam Engel. He got to the wall, realized exactly where he was, and timed his leap perfectly to haul it down. Bird gets most of this one. But Adam right there goes up as high as he can go and makes the play. Great effort. Had a long way to go, knew exactly where he was, and at the last instant, he goes up as high as he can go and pulls it back into the field of play. Because that ball is gone if he doesn't get a glove on it.
Great look at it, and look, Adam Engel is one of the best defensive players in baseball. The numbers bear it out, your eyes bear it out. Just an outstanding effort.
But we saw some great center fielding in Tampa with Kevin Kiermaier. And as good as he is, and he's very good, there's not a whole lot to choose from between these two guys. Kiermaier is exceptional. Adam Engel is also an exceptional defensive center fielder.
That could have just saved the game for Dylan Covey, depending on the way the rest of it goes. What a grab.
Yeah, you get to be down 5-0 to this ball club. You're not in a good spot. And that's courtesy of that man.
One of the top 3 guys in outs above average in Major League Baseball defensively. He'll climb a wall for you even if he's not close to the ball. That time he scales the wall and brings one into the field of play as there's strike 2 on Andujar. One, two. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Adam Engel, in order to play baseball, turned down Brett Bielema when he was at Wisconsin to be a defensive back. It's an interception of a 3-run homer for Engel. We'll play bottom 4 and a 2-0 score thanks to him. Back, a possible home run for Greg Bird, and the Yankees lead is just a pair as Abreu stands in. Then Polka and Garcia hook in for a strike from Lance Lynn, who's given up an infield single and a walk in the first 3 innings.
Well, he's also going second time through the order, and the boys will realize that he's thrown a lot of fastballs.
And he'll continue to throw a lot of fastballs.
That's what he does. Might as well jump on one early.
One of those late arrivals to Minnesota in the offseason. He had a great ERA, 3.43 with the Cardinals off of Tommy John surgery last year. But couldn't find a home until late in the process. And then the Twins flipped him to the Yankees for insurance for their rotation. Had the big beard when we saw him, but that's not
with the Yankees.
Happen here.
No, not with the Yankees.
Two and 2 on Abreu. He's 3 for 12 career against Lance Lynn. See a 3.53 ERA. It's very nice in this era. 181 starts.
No, it's actually very good. He was a good pitcher for them.
Yeah.
But he's had some difficulties here in the American League, and sometimes pitchers will do that.
Down the line and hooking. Yeah, 8 batters and a pitcher is much different than 9 batters, especially if you have one of those great DHs that we see in the American League.
There is no doubt that you can build your ball club around a designated hitter, where in the National League, quite obviously, the GMs have to be a little more judicious with their lineups and figuring out where to put who and when to do it.
Upstairs for strike 3 and 1 gone. So I have a letter to read. It's just a portion of a letter. This is from Sean Coyle, who sent us 3 posters of old Comiskey Winterscape posters. He took the pictures, turned them into posters, and he says he enjoys watching the broadcast and wanted to pass them along to a Sox Math player.
And here it is.
So that's what you can win along with everything else on the prize shelf today. So thanks, Sean.
Very
Appreciate
nice.
it. Yeah.
Very nice.
Our viewers are very clever, creative, and giving. Daniel Polka discards his bat on the fly ball to left. Gardner's underneath. And 2 gone. Here's your Sox Math question for tonight. Hashtag Sox Math. First correct answer wins a prize off the shelf. Games in this series multiplied by games in the homestand minus off days in the homestand, plus the number of times the Sox play the Yankees this month. You got a schedule near you? You could win. You could beat yesterday's winner, GP Alexandru. As there's what you can win along with the picture. See, it's not a full shelf today because we wanted to really bring out the hues of the winterscape.
A pinkish hue?
A pinkish hue.
Yeah.
Your guy.
There it is. Very nice.
Hugh Beaumont. It's a strike on Avi, who punched out in the first. We hear there may be rain elsewhere in the Midwest, and there may be some viewers joining us from Kansas City, so we thank you for doing that. We have a 2-0 score. The Yankees with 2 runs in the top of the 4th. Aaron Hicks, Gleyber Torres driving in the runs. The Yankees losers of 5 straight. Sox winners of 4 straight. What is it with Lance Lynn's fastball that creates swing and miss stuff? Movement?
I don't know how much movement there is, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a good fastball. I mean, it's 95, 96 on occasion. But I think it's more difficult for him to get swings and misses than most of the guys because he doesn't throw a lot of breaking balls.
Your answer is kind of what I was thinking while I was watching it. It doesn't have the same Covey horizontal or vertical movement, but he's getting swings and misses out of it. It must look odd out of the hand or something.
Well, this fastball that he's throwing tonight is a bit better than the last couple times we saw him. So for whatever reason, either he's more rested or likes that Yankee uniform, but the stuff is a little more crisp.
And then he snaps that off for strike 3 on the breaking stuff, and Lance Lynn coasts through 4. Welcome back to Guaranteed Rate Field. He's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti. Thanks for joining us with our entire crew here on the south side of Chicago. Dylan Covey didn't allow a base runner first time through the order. 10 in a row retired to start the game, but then a walk and 3 straight hits have given the Yankees the lead on the road. After a late arrival last night, they played Sunday Night Baseball, then arrived here after the game pretty early in the morning. And you have to imagine that that may give the Sox a benefit even tomorrow, because in baseball they say it's the second day when it hits you. Everybody says that.
They do.
It must be true.
It is true.
It's always the second day?
Always.
And the first day,
Never
too.
varies.
Doing your sleep pattern studies again? You got
That's
that
it.
grant?
Yeah, I have it. I get the grant and everything else.
Balling 2 strikes on Walker, 32-year-old, who signed back in March. Good piece to have, Neil Walker. You know, you can play him everywhere on the infield. Pitch number 60 from Covey. 1-2 is called. Strike 3. That's him in the corner. 1 down. As we take a look at the White Sox Farm Report presented by Guaranteed Rate. And it's Michael Kopech against the Durham Bulls. 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs. He struck out 9. He didn't walk a soul. So now for Michael Kopech, 7 of the last 8 outings, he's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer. That one's hard hit and through for Higashioka. Here's your Sox math winner, by the way, and it is T. Dillon 90 once again. 3 games in the series, 6 games in the homestand, 18 minus 1 off day. That's Thursday 17, plus 6 times the Sox and the Yankees this month, including the 3 at Yankee Stadium later on here in August. So you take out for Michael Kopech his 3 1/3 8 earned run start against Durham back on May the 11th. You could call that his worst start of the season. You take that out, his ERA is 3.52 in AAA this year. I know you don't get to do that. You don't get to take out your bad starts. Right. But generally, especially over the last month and a half, he's been pretty consistent.
Well, he's gotten his control, and that's all really that he needs. Get some innings pitched, keep your control, and he's been doing just that. So things starting to work very well for Michael Kopech.
He's 22 years old. He won't turn 23 until April the 30th of next year. Nice play. Probably have a headache after that, but nice play. There you are.
Souvenir. Very nice.
Up the middle again. Higashioka running for third. So the Yankees are doing it with small ball. How often do you hear that?
It certainly wasn't their game plan. Their game plan, pretty simply, is to hold you down until they can hit the ball out of the ballpark enough to beat you.
Stanton takes a strike. You ask players and you say, well, what about home games causes you to drop off like that? What about road games? And typically anybody but maybe like Larry Walker doesn't really have much of an explanation, especially in that hitter's paradise. You would imagine the numbers would be a little bit higher.
Very rare to see a guy 110 points higher on the road than at home, though, and that's what Stanton is.
That's nothing against Larry Walker, by the way. He's a wonderful guy. I just picked a Colorado Rocky at random.
Yep. There were a few of those over the years that have had lopsided splits.
Mm-hmm. Ball and a strike and a throw to first. I have a question for you. Does getting a correct answer in Sox math, but not being the winner, entitle you to a birthday shout out?
Like an audio tweet, then.
Like an audio tweet.
Well, Joe Group says no, he's a deciding vote. I always vote for do the thing that makes the person the happiest.
Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Judges, what are you saying? Oh, sorry, we can't say happy birthday, Marty. 2 balls and a strike on Stanton. Gardner at first. Higashioka at third. And another throw on Gardner, who has 251 Yankees stolen bases. Oh, the judges are here.
Look at that. Pretty good, huh?
Even with Aaron recusing himself from this series.
There they are. Reminds me of the Kangaroo Court we used to have with the San Francisco Giants. Willie McCovey was the man in charge. He was the judge. With the wig and the judge's robes and everything.
3-1. It gets away. Here comes the run. Higashioka scores. Gardner to second base.
And Dillon was around the plate and almost got upended. We'll watch it again. This goes as a wild pitch. Kevin tries to backhand it. That usually doesn't work very well, and this one gets away. Dillon goes up and over, but it's the third Yankee run.
So Higashioka scores it after his single. And 3-1 to Stanton. First base is vacant. To the moon it goes. And playable for Nicky. Way up in the air for round number 2. Hey, enjoy your summer nights at the park with Bleachers and Brews. Get 1 bleacher seat, 2 beers for just $22 to select upcoming games. 21 and over. You got to be with a valid ID. Bleachers and Brews presented by Budweiser. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews. So for those who don't know it, what are the rules of Kangaroo Court, or at least when you played?
Well, they used to come up with certain things so that they could fine you, which allowed then all the money to be put into a little kitty, and then you had a party ostensibly at the end of the year.
Everyone got to participate?
Yeah, I don't remember the party, however. I do remember getting fined. And then I got trapped.
You got trapped?
Yeah. See, what happened was I lost. Because it was in September, late in the year. They hadn't fined me all year, so they fined me for my shirt running in the washer and getting everybody else's shirt a different color.
Why'd you do that?
Well, obviously it was not the case, seeing as they had washed it all year long, but they figured out late in the year. So then Willie McCovey, when I lost my case, asked me if I'd like to appeal, and I said yes. And he says, appeal denied. It's another $25, so they fined me $50. My appeal was denied. Never appealed it again, by the way. Didn't think that would be prudent. And that was the deal.
Seems like an unfair appellate process, I've got to say.
It seemed like it was, yeah. I mean, he didn't even wait. He just dismissed it out of hand and fined me again. Oh, sure.
The whole thing?
Oh, yeah. The wig, the robe, the gavel, whole thing.
Always get representation.
I know. It was
always have a lawyer.
Terrible mistake.
To left field. And a base hit, bringing Gardner to the plate. He is saved.
We'll take another look as Gregorius drives it through the left side. That gives him 66. 2 for 3 tonight. And then Brett Gardner just barely beats the play at the plate, but beat it he does. Called by Bruce Dreckman. It's a good throw. Just doesn't get there in time.
For 4-0 Yankees. Aaron Hicks, who singled on the first pitch he saw in the 4th inning, facing Dylan Covey. He went after the first one again and popped up the curveball. Abreu for out number 3, but the Yankees double their lead to go bottom 5. Trail 4-0, but before the game, Joel Weissman, who spent 40 years as the host, editor, and everything man for Chicago Week in Review on WTTW, Sox fan through and through, threw out the first pitch, the longest running series in the station's history that he hosted. And back in 1957, you got young Joel Weissman, a popcorn vendor at Old Comiskey.
Parlayed it into great things.
Wonderful things. A tremendous show. Congratulations to him on such a long run with Chicago Week in Review. And I know a lot of folks who grew up with WTTW and that show in their lives. A major part of our existence here in Chicago. So congratulations on the retirement and nice first pitch.
He'll have plenty of time to work on his arm.
Always a critic.
No, I mean, that's it. He'll be terrific.
By the way, when we were just looking into your living room on this little camera we have, we've had a couple requests to get another look at your socks, by the way. This is not the first time that's happened this season. Steve's socks are psychedelic all the time.
Yeah, I try.
You try very hard.
Yeah.
They look like fruit snacks today, or like the opening to the Partridge Family.
Well, I'll have to go and choose carefully the socks I wear tomorrow.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I will choose them carefully.
You didn't today? That was just haphazard?
Yeah, this was random.
Uh-huh. Breaking ball to Anderson, and that curve is inside, 1-0. Tim, a ground ball to second base, and Gleyber Torres in the second inning. He's fouled away, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Outfield straight away, as is the infield. This is a no shift. Everybody playing straight away.
Line drive to shortstop is out number 2. This day in baseball history, all the way back in 1890, Denton True Young, Cy Young, made his Major League Baseball debut. It was for the Cleveland Spiders, and it was in Chicago. Cy Young played his first ever game at the Major League level against the Chicago Colts at West Side Park in an 8-1 game. 22 years, 23 wins per season. When it was basically starter versus starter, you get a win and you just beat them. 511 wins.
He also has the most losses of anybody in the history of this game. 300 and some odd losses.
Are you suggesting the award that you won shouldn't be named after him because of all those losses?
It was wonderful. I would have named it the Denton True Award, though. That was his name.
Yeah, I like how that rolls off the tongue. Walker, we're out number 3, and we're all through here. 4-0. Wednesday, August 8th, as the Sox take on the Yankees, 7:10 p.m. Brought to you by Securian Financial, who can help you make every moment count. Find out more right now at Securian.com. Gleyber Torres, a swing and a miss at the slider for strike 1. Two runs in the 4th, 2 in the 5th for New York tonight. Dillon's chosen a couple batters, it seems, in this order that he's not really willing to, at least early in the count, throw that sinker to.
Torres has been a very good hitter this year. You can understand why he would be careful with him. Those power numbers are staggering.
First Yankee player ever with 17 home runs in his first 70 games before the age of 22. Very impressive with all the guys who come through those halls.
There's no doubt.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Line hard third base side and foul.
That's Phil Nevin, the third base coach, who had to get out of the way of it. Had a nice career. Started out as a catcher, then moved around a few different places. Always had big power to right center field.
Ended up a manager for a while in the Tigers system. Hope he's okay. That's no fun.
No, it's not.
Phil Nevin had a 41 home run year back in 2001. Third base coach is Covey with the off-speed pitch, gets Torres out of his shoes. Adam Engel robbed Greg Bird last time up.
Let's take a look at StatCast AI, powered by AWS, and a few other initials that we can throw out there. What a play. Covered 72 feet. Got there very quickly, timed it exceptionally well, and hauled it back in.
We mentioned that Adams in the top 3 in Major League Baseball in that stat, outs above average, which shows what you do more than the typical Major League player defensively. And Darren Willman from StatCast, one of the big-time researchers for Major League Baseball, has started tinkering with directional outs above average to show where those outs come from, whether you're good at charging the ball or moving to your left or to your right, whatever it might be. And he just tweeted this today. Adam Engel, 8 of his outs above average have been back or back and toward left center field. That's been his strong point this year, and he showed it once again to rob Bird of that home run. Had mentioned it to Adam before the game, and he didn't exactly know where his strong suit would be, but he found it to be interesting and found that area to be fruitful once again.
Well, he can go get him. We haven't seen a hole in his defensive game. He was able to come straight forward and make plays. He's able to go to either side and make plays very well. So on the defensive side, it's been an excellent year for Mr. Engel.
2-2. That hook is outside. Monday is an off day around the league for some teams, so only 10 games tonight and 10 runs for Cleveland, trying to douse Minnesota once again. 10-zip. The Indians with the lead in the top of the 8th.
I like their chances.
You do?
Yeah. Now that they have a recently renovated pen, Andrew Miller is back.
Nicky Delmonico squeezes out number 2 as we take a trip around Major League Baseball, and Melky takes a dive, or a couple dives. This is the beached whale look for Melky Cabrera on the first one. Thunk. Nice play.
Made a very nice play.
Here's number 2. I bet you he makes this guy. Sliding. We've seen that before.
We have.
And going back to the wall. Melky.
Nice play by the Milkman.
Last time we saw the Indians, Melky Cabrera had been designated for assignment earlier this season. He's back now, and he's a great guy to plug in for your team when you need an outfielder. He's been very consistent over his career. Always fun to watch.
And you're talking about a guy with a lifetime batting average of around 285. So a guy who has been a hitter his whole career. So you'd have to assume he had no spring training. When we saw him, he just wasn't ready to go yet.
Right.
I mean, he had no spring training, and you could see it. Swinging the bat has never been problematic for him. He can swing it from both sides of the plate without a great deal of difficulty, but he was really struggling when first he got to the Tribe.
Yeah, the one thing I think fans might forget is when you're not affiliated with a team, you just don't have that structured practice and that structured easy for me to say, workout regimen in terms of getting into mental game shape. You can go to the gym all you want, but the reps of being around the teammates, totally different.
Yeah, it takes a while. If you have anything interrupt your spring training, normally the year doesn't go particularly well for you. And if it does, if you right the ship before the end, you're going to have some really tough times because of that lack of spring training.
Great movement on that pitch, 2-2.
Melky's hitting .304 since he's come back to the Indians. So he came back, had enough practice to actually simulate a spring training, and now things are going very well for him, as they usually do.
Foul ball, third base side from Andujar. Sox will see Cleveland Friday, Saturday, Sunday this homestand. Jenny Finch will be here on Friday night. Fireworks as well. Foul back toward us. Jim Thome Day on Saturday.
Very busy weekend.
Hall of Fame bobblehead. Wintrust bringing you that first 20,000 fans. The Jim Thome bobblehead is so nice and so lifelike because of the kindness. It will mow your lawn for you. It'll paint your house. It'll always smile and shake your hand.
Dylan's having a hard time taking down Andujar. He's been spoiling some very good pitches.
23-year-old Miguel Andujar with 46 extra base hits, the most by any rookie in Major League Baseball. Strike three. Kevin wanted it down. He got it there, and the changeup is the mortal blow to Andujar. 1-2-3 inning for Kobe. A special guest who's been through a lot is with Chuck Garfien. Chuck.
Hey guys, I'm with a very special White Sox fan who is very thankful to be here. Alberto Herrera, you were one of 103 people who were on that plane that crashed in Mexico. You were one of a few Sox fans who were on that plane. You were wearing this hat during it. How thankful are you to be alive right now?
I'm super thankful. It's like nobody survives plane crashes. For me to be very fortunate to be here 4 days after, throw out the first pitch, which is a lifelong dream. It's fantastic, man.
There were 16 people from Chicago on that flight, and after you survived it, everyone survived, thankfully. There were a bunch of injuries. 85 people did get injured. How frightening was this experience for you?
It was literally the scariest thing I've ever been through. I can't explain how I'm here. I just know I am, and just very grateful.
You were wearing this hat.
Yes. Yes, this hat is the actual hat. I was on that flight, and this is the hat that I made all my interviews in.
And you're going to retire it now?
Yeah, this hat's retired after today. It's just going to sit on my mantle. I'm not going to wash it. I'm just going to say it's my Lucky Sox hat, and if they make another World Series, it's coming back on.
Hopefully that is someday soon. And there were a few other White Sox fans that you noticed on this flight, right?
Yes, sir. There was another man that was wearing a Sox t-shirt and a Sox hat. There was another Sox hat sprinkled out there. I know because we saluted each other at the airport gate.
We saw you throw out the first pitch. Nice pitch you threw there. That was a strike.
Honestly, I just had fun with it. I went up there. I pretended I was a pitcher. I kicked the mound a little bit, put a little dirt on my foot, and I just let it rip.
Well, Alberto Herrera, great to meet you.
Thank you so much.
So glad you're here, and you're with a bunch of your coworkers too, enjoying the games here tonight.
Yes, I am. Much love to all my Dean Houston family. Love all of you.
Jason, Steve, back up to you.
What an amazing story.
That's just a great story. And, you know, when he says he doesn't know why he's alive, he'll figure it out. There's a reason for it. It's magnificent, actually.
The joy in his voice and just the sheer excitement to be able to do what he's doing here today. It's a wonderfully fortunate thing, and we're glad to have him here at the ballpark. 1-2. It's a breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Love the salute to the other Sox fans, by the way, in the lobby, in the gatehouse, and just to see the love for baseball. You've been through this harrowing experience, and you see somebody else wearing a Sox cap, and you say, oh, hey, I know something about you. That's one of the greatest parts of baseball.
It's absolutely amazing that 4 days later, as he said, here he is.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Moncada. Yankees with 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th. That's a foul ball off Yoan.
Lynn is throwing a few more breaking pitches than we saw him the last few times he's pitched against us. So that's one of the adjustments he's trying to make. And so far, it's worked very well for him.
Up top with the fastball and a pop foul. "13 curveballs so far out of 82, which is more than we would have expected coming in.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to throw near this many, but he's used them very well. He's at the 82 pitch mark.
Out of Brownsburg, Indiana. Ended up at Ole Miss, where he was one of the strikeout kings for the Rebels. Hey, Xfinity X1 customers, say, show me the Chicago White Sox into your X1 voice remote and get live team stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Two and two on Moncada. Sox last base runner was Daniel Palka in the first inning. Lance Lynn has been tremendous. He nearly got Moncada with that cutter. 3-2. Looked at his fingers there for a moment. Wouldn't imagine.
That might be a few more sliders than he's used to throwing. Might be raising bit of a blister.
Strike 3 at 93. Sox fans, be sure to come watch the White Sox take on the Indians. That's Friday. We were telling you about it. Post-game fireworks presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Athletico Physical Therapy, better for everybody. Get your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866 Sox Game.
15 straight retired by Lance Lynn. The only hit, Polka's cue shot single in the first inning.
It's a little like facing Bartolo Colon, isn't it?
He doesn't throw quite as many fastballs as Bartolo does, and he's also throws them a little more quickly than Bart does now. But yeah, I mean, if you go up there, you're just looking one pitch. You might get a slider, but you might as well take that and just try to hit the fastball.
Two 2-0 on Sanchez, who's one of the two base runners tonight for the Sox. Two and one. Well, okay, so if they get Lance Lynn to pitch like this every time out,
then it was going to be a really good acquisition for them.
Aaron Boone in the Eugenio Suarez mold with the gum there.
Well, if he had a record-making bubble, that's probably not it.
You don't think that's enough?
Nah, not yet. Give him a couple more years of seasoning. Then he'll be ready to go.
You season your gum?
Yes.
2-2. Outside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gregorius. We'll have the 7th inning after this advertisement for Steve Stone Bubblegum, now with Paprika.
His own impatience in the rebuild and the highlight of his tenure as a GM. For that and much more, visit NBCSportsChicago.com/podcast to subscribe today.
Great live White Sox talk podcast. Sox. Watching too much Sunday Night Baseball. Avi and Wright can't make the play. That's a Walker base hit to lead off the 7th. How good was that podcast?
It was great, and it was a great moment for Sox fans to come in and hear Rick Hahn and ask questions. It was an open forum for about half of the podcast, so if you had a chance to listen, we basically covered everything and anything that might be on your mind. Everything from Eloy Jimenez, when's he going to get called up? Just to let you know, Rick Hahn does not exactly say the date.
No, come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I tried to find that out, but we don't know that. But
okay, so when's Kopech coming up?
Oh, I got that date.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you listen to the podcast, you'll find that out.
Wow.
No, we're kidding. We didn't get that date either. But a lot of great insight into what the White Sox are doing behind the scenes, their approach to the rebuild. And actually, Rick broke a little bit of news saying that Zach Birdie, who we all know is one of the top future relievers for the White Sox. He's now coming back from his Tommy John surgery, and he's pitching in the Arizona Summer League, Arizona Rookie League, so that was great to see.
Yeah. I think Ricky's going to make a pitching change here.
He's
so we'll hear more about the podcast.
It's Avilan who's coming in the game.
There you go.
Talk about the podcast later.
Yeah, we got time. Steve's breaking news on Avilan here. Rick Hahn's not the only guy that can break news. Steve Stone's got the new pitcher for you.
We'll be back.
Thanks.
And it's about time Luis Avilan found his way into this ball game, and there he is. On for the 51st time. He's 2-0. The ERA a touch above 3.5. He inherits Walker at first base, and 1 out here in the 7th.
So we were talking about Aaron Boone and his bubblegum producing. That's Suarez on the left, who has drawn the attention of Chad Bell, the all-time Guinness record holder for bubblegum blowing. So maybe Aaron Boone could be a bronze medalist. It's a pretty good job by Aaron, our former television colleague across networks.
Not bad. Did a good job.
No, he did a good job in the booth.
Oh, no, he did that. Good job with the bubble I was talking about.
Oh. I was scheduled to do a game with him last year, but he was taken off the game, and I'm wondering if he just didn't want to work with me.
That could absolutely be it. I'll check on that tomorrow.
Thank you. Thanks for looking into it. You always have my best interest in mind. Gardner is 1 for 3 with that single to center in the 5th. So Dylan Covey goes 6 1/3. And the run's yet to be determined. He walked only 1, struck out 5. I defy you to come to a game when Luis Avilan's on the mound and not end up humming Ring of Fire.
We still haven't determined a walk-up song for you and I.
Well, it's true. It's true. Pop up left side. Anderson makes the call. The catch on the move for out number 2. Keon's told me to do this promo, which means he doesn't want to hear about your walk-up song. MLB TV is now available at a lower price for $59.99. Watch every on-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this special offer.
That's a good app.
I think Linda Ronstadt, Different Drum, is your walk-up song. It's pretty easy.
Not yet. I can't commit just yet. Got to go a little deeper in the season.
You're non-committal?
Yeah.
It's game number 112. You don't have a whole lot of time left.
It's true.
Stanton, the batter. Chuck, you got any thoughts here?
I'm thinking long and hard for a walk-up song for myself.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I'm a big Bruce Springsteen fan. I can easily go that route, but I'm not. I'm going to go AC/DC, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
Is there something we need to know about you?
No, I'd be a scrappy guy. And I don't have much talent. So I wouldn't want many expectations for myself, so that's what I'm trying to say. How about you? Do you have a walk-up song?
Well, I'm too saddened by your career eulogy that you just gave to us. 2 balls and a strike on Stanton. I told you mine yesterday. Mine's easy. It's Phil Collins, Against All Odds.
Ooh, that's good.
Because if I'm coming up to the plate,
that's it.
Take a look at me now.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
How about you, Steve Stone?
I'm still thinking. I'm deep in deliberation, Chuck.
Steve didn't sleep a wink last night. He was just staying up thinking about this question.
It's close.
2 balls and a strike. Stanton checks his swing on ball 3. Three-1, runners off. And that was a stolen base there for Neil Walker if he didn't have the foul ball. Three balls, 2 strikes on Stanton. Walker at first, 2 down, 7th inning. One of the great hitters in the game today, Giancarlo Stanton. As Avilan mulls over this 3-2. Everything downstairs in the sequence so far. That's inside and low, ball 4. Stanton is on. Gregorius will bat, and there's no reason to give in when you've got lefty-lefty coming. Stanton has both walks for the Yankees tonight. And Gregorius, who's 2 for 3, stands in. Gregorius gives it a ride, foul. Yankees got 2 in the 4th and 2 in the 5th. And that's your scoring so far tonight in game 1 of 3 between the Sox and the Yankees.
And Lance Lynn is throwing a gem, a 1-hitter through 6.
Lob to the right-hand side. Avi is on to make the catch for Avilan. Bottom 7 coming your way. Sox trying to come back.
Authentic Fan Night at Guaranteed Rate Field. Watch the Sox take on the Yankees. You can visit the Authentic Fan booth located right outside sections 157 and 158 and grab a free Sox jersey while supplies last.
Jose leads it off. He'll face Lance Lynn, then Polka and Garcia. And Abreu has been crushing the ball, as we told you. Last couple of weeks, Jose has gotten right, and in a big way.
These days you make a mistake on him and you're probably going to pay for it because he's not missing much.
Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike, and if there's anywhere you're going to pitch him right now, it would be up there, although he hit a ball that was up and away to him very well. Down the middle, 857 slugging percentage, and that's a departure from where he was. Those are the pitches he was missing during that run where he went cold. Middle. That ball's tapped to the left side. Gregorius has time, and out number 1. We have a couple shout outs to send your way. For Jimmy Tianis, one of our cameramen on the crew, his niece Sarah Dawson on the birth of her daughter. Jack and Sarah Dawson, congratulations with the birth of Collins Jane Dawson. And also a big shout out to our buddy Peter Sagal, the host of Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me, who's watching tonight. He's a Red Sox fan who ostensibly is just rooting against the Yankees, so he's hate watching.
Don't tell me what the show is.
No, Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me.
No, don't tell me.
That's what I said.
And?
You told me.
Ah.
Peter says he approves of the walk-up song that I selected, the Phil Collins, and I suggest for him, because of the premise of his show, Fleetwood Mac's Secondhand News. 2 balls, no strikes on Polka. Lance Lynn, 2 base runners, 2 in the first inning, and that's it.
And what has been somewhat astonishing is the fact that he's gone 2-0 on a lot of the Sox hitters, but they got nothing to show for it because he usually sneaks the first strike in and then goes to work when he's behind.
3 balls and a strike on Polka.
Pretty good numbers so far. 8 strikeouts and 6 1/3. Just that 1 hit and that 1 walk. Walk belonging to Yolmer, second hitter of the ball game.
3-2. Let's quiz Steve on his own career. It's called Sticks and Stone. It involves the Yankees. Who'd you strike out 3 times in your first career start against the Yankees?
First career start?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll say Thurman Munson.
You think so? Your former catcher?
I don't know if it was my first start against the Yankees, but that was the first time I faced Thurman. And I did strike him out 3 straight times. So he might be in line for one of those awards, a minor award.
It sounds like you remember exactly.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the 4th time he came up and yelled out at me to throw him a fastball. So I threw one over his head and told him that was it.
Is that right?
Yep.
What a guy.
Well,
Gamesmanship. 2 down as Avi comes up, and here's your answer. I think you got it. Yeah. Yep, you got it.
yep.
Today actually is, I believe, today is the anniversary of the service for Thurman Munson, the day that Bobby Mercer hit his 3-run home run in the 7th inning against you guys.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I remember that night pretty much as if it were yesterday, because it was just one of those evenings you can't possibly forget. They had the eulogy up on the scoreboard. They had the number 15, which was Thurman's number. And people just gave him a standing ovation, wouldn't stop applauding. It went on for over 10 minutes. It was just really something. And then they took the field with 8 players and no catcher.
Wow.
And that one sent chills up my spine. We were standing in front of the dugout, watching it. Then we went into the dugout. Then they took the field with the 8 players and no catcher. Yikes.
I don't know if people heard it. You're breaking up even just talking about it right now.
No, I mean, it was quite a night.
It's a neat moment. 4-0 Yankees. We go to the 8th. Chicago White Sox charities. Uber, the official rideshare provider of the Chicago White Sox and proud supporter of Chicago White Sox charities. Use Uber code GOSOX18 for $15 off your first Uber ride. Steve Stone uses it. He loves it. You can use it.
I do. And we got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. It is Thiago Vieira. On for the 4th time. His ERA just about 5.5. He was very excited in Tampa Bay. Came on late, got the job done, and picked up a save.
First one, 97, low portion of the zone. He was very excited, like really excited for that first save.
He was really excited.
Here's what it looked like when Vieira was celebrating that save. Up high with a fastball and maybe a torn pec or something. Here's Ricky's representation of it. Well done.
You don't get that first save too often.
Who knew Ricky Renteria did a great Tiago impersonation? Strike three. Quickly, he dispatches Hicks.
Genmar Gomez loosening in the pen.
Gleyber Torres. First pitch hunting, he pops it foul. Well, the Yankees need some help from other teams because they're 9.5 back of Boston starting play tonight. Yankees look like a wild card team right now, but they are only 5 up on the Seattle Mariners for that second wild card spot, with, of course, the Yankees in the 1 spot to this point, Oakland in between them. But if you're going to fall out, it will be at the hands of Seattle, you would imagine. Upstairs 3-1. A lot of young talent on this Yankees roster, including Torres at 21 and Duhar at age 23. That ball's tagged to left field. Nicky's back at the warning track and the wall. Nicky goes up for it, and Delmonico cannot bring it in. So Torres drops it over the wall, and it's 5-0.
Home run number 18, RBI number 52. He's got 2 tonight. RBI single in the 4th and his solo home run here in the 8th. Ford home run replay. It's a fastball down the middle, and it goes out. Nice effort by Nicky Delmonico as he goes up as high as he can go, but cannot make the catch.
.376 on that home run. Thought maybe Nicky could have the second steal for the Sox after Adam Engel took one away from Bird. That ball's cranked to right. Avi is there. Bird's done everything he can to get a ball out of here.
Trying to get it out of the park and just coming up a little short twice. That time without the heroics of Adam Engel.
Two down for Andujar. There's strike one. Well, look, on the swings when guys are uncomfortable against Vieira, they're really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, especially that slider.
He is now one of 2 Brazilians all-time in Major League Baseball with a save. The other one, Luis Gohara of the Braves, had his first this season. He's pitched in 14 games, so we've seen a couple of them come through either the Sox or the Sox organization, players from Brazil.
Yep.
Line of third, that's foul. Here's the ball. Nope, just kidding. Here, you get it. That seems slightly unfair. If you're not going to give it to him, don't taunt him. They better know each other.
That fastball at 100 miles an hour was nowhere near the plate.
They have to know each other, right?
You would think so.
It never gets old. Weird, huh? Don't you love guys who just have one joke that they just keep playing all night long throughout the whole game? And they love it every time. 2-2. I know people out there have sat next to that guy. Not that specific guy, but that version of a fan who says one funny thing at the beginning of the game, right? Or one movement that's really funny, and then he just plays it all the way out, all the way through. Like, who kills jokes like that? Who would dare? Who would possibly?
It depends on the joke.
Who would do such things?
Not me, certainly.
No, not us, ever.
No, that'd be horrible. Relatively horrible.
You ever get halfway through a sentence and realize it's going to be a pot calling the kettle black moment?
Yeah, but I go through with it anyway.
Ball 4 on Andujar. And Neil Walker's going to bat here in the 8th inning. Walker 1 for 3 with a single to right in the 7th. Ball's mashed to center field. Adam back, and he's not going to take this one. Neil Walker's having quite a night. It's a 2-run home run, and the Yankees build the lead to 7.
4th home run of the year. Walker's now driven in 27. And that was a no-doubter. That one went way back over the National Car Rental sign and just kept on going. He got every bit of that fastball, our Ford home run replay, and left nothing to the imagination.
Ball 1 to Kyle Higashioka. But Neil Walker, the veteran, 32-year-old, in the air center field. Adam has the final out. 2 homers in the inning for the best home run hitting team in baseball on behalf of Lance Lynn. here in the booth coming up in a couple innings. Get over here. 7-0 your score. The Yankees with the lead, bottom 8. Layla and Bill Melton will be here in the booth in just a little while to do the post-game show live from Guaranteed Rate Field, provided traffic is nice to them. You think they'll make it?
I don't know. It's going to be close.
Nicky Delmonico takes ball number 1. Lance Lynn tonight, the man of mystery.
Been awfully good.
That's a base hit to right field. And by the way, guess who's warming in the White Sox bullpen? Guess who?
Well, first, let's take a look at a high-speed action powered by
You didn't
Xfinity.
guess.
No, I can guess later. Lance Lynn has been just outstanding tonight. He's had everything. Hit his spots with his fastball, throwing his slider. A few more breaking pitches than normal for him tonight, but he's only given up 2 singles. Valka in the first, and Delmonico to lead off the 8th.
Look who it is.
There he is.
It's Midwest Shohei Ohtani.
Only his arm's better.
You're not joking, are you?
No. Won't be better when Ohtani gets back to throwing 100, but right now he can't. So
that's right. Matt's got him beat.
He's got him beat indeed.
Nicky over at first. Anderson with a ground ball foul of third.
A.J. Cole loosening up in the Yankee pen.
Former Washington National product. ...107 pitches for Lance Lynn. Stanton in right. Collects out number 1.
First inning was a tough one for Lance Lynn. He walked Sanchez, gave a base hit to Daniel Palka, but got out of it, and that's the only troublesome inning he's had.
We do have confirmation he has broken a sweat tonight, but that's pretty much all he's done in the way of panic as Aaron Boone comes out of the dugout. Lance Lynn, 7 1/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Best start of his season, and the Yankee fans here shower him with praise. It'll be A.J. Cole when we come back as the Sox try to mount a rally late.
and it is A.J. Cole. There you look at the cumulative numbers between Washington and the Yankees. This is his 20th game. His ERA just over 5. For 44 big strikeouts and 35 in the third innings, and that's pretty good.
Well, with the Yankees, he's been really good. A 1.80 ERA, 17 hits in 25 innings. And Lance Lynn, 7 1/3, 2 hits at most. It'll be 1 run allowed. That's Nicky Delmonico, his property over at first.
That's Larry Rothschild, who is the pitching coach and has been. He came in the Joe Girardi era, and he stayed through the Aaron Boone era.
One on, one out, Kevin Smith. Strike 1 on the slider from A.J. Cole. Really highly thought of prospect for a long time in the Nationals farm system. He was a 4th-round pick in 2010. Over to the Yankees for the first time this season. Yankees got him back on April the 24th. He was part of a couple of those deals with Oakland that the Nationals executed in the early 2010s. The Gio Gonzalez trade back in December of 2011, then a year and a half later or so, he was in the Blake Trinan deal along with a couple others with Seattle and Oakland, a 3-team trade. There are a few guys who were drafted by the Nats, went to Oakland, and then came back to Washington as they continue their dealing. Sean Kelly went from Washington to Oakland after he spiked his glove down. He was DFA'd, designated for assignment by Washington, and then the A's made a trade for him for international bonus pool money, which is very nice to have if you're going to have an international bonus pool party.
They're saving up a bunch.
You can spend it on drinks,
Yeah.
poolside, and all that.
It's very good.
It's also used more frequently to sign international prospects.
An
like
occasional player, yeah.
Luis Robert to the Sox last year. 2 uses. 2-2. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes on Kevin Smith. Matt Davidson warming in the Sox bullpen. Adam Engel coming up next. There's Matt getting loose for his 3rd outing of his career.
This one won't be easy for Matt because he's got the top of the order.
Matt Davidson staring down the barrel of Gardner, Stanton, and Gregorius.
Those are pretty good ones. This will put him to the test tonight.
Ball 4. Now time for Lowe's whole team together, and it has to do with the Yankees bullpen, which has been lethal. 11.5 strikeouts per 9. They were leading the league before Zach Britton got here. Adam with a brilliant catch in center field to take away a home run from Greg Bird. Leori Garcia placed on the DL with a hamstring injury today. Ryan Lamar called up from AAA. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Yoan Moncada next. There's strike 3 down in the zone. 10th punch out for Yankee pitching. And here's the upcoming schedule for the Sox. This homestand stretches through Sunday.
Indians coming to town, and they're starting to play better baseball. They came into tonight's action, a 9-game lead over the Twins.
They crunched Minnesota tonight, 10-0. Trevor Bauer, who seems like he wins every 3rd day.
He's had a terrific year.
Yeah, he has.
They got a really good pitching staff. The big 3, Carrasco, Kluber, and Bauer, awfully good.
And again, they've got some depth in the minors in terms of starting pitching that we've seen.
Well, Bieber came up and done a terrific job for them, so that was a surprise.
By the way, we have a suggestion. You mentioned Bieber for Chuck Garfine's walk-up song. Been told it should be "Love Yourself" by Justin Bieber. After Chuck said he had no talent earlier. What do you think, Chuck?
I missed part of what you just said. Who recommended that?
Oh, it was just recommended by someone who shall go nameless.
Okay. I have no comment.
You don't like? You're not a believer?
I'm not.
Oh boy.
I'm not a believer.
That's in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Did Gordon Beckham get this whole thing started though with the walk-up song? Where did this all begin?
Who was it yesterday? We were talking about somebody's walk-up song. I don't know.
You got me. I got no idea.
We just went off on it yesterday at some point. It's a carryover from yesterday's game.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah. And time called. I really can't think of when it started. Anybody out there remember? On Twitter?
Beckham had the song by the outfield. It was around 09.
Your
his
Love
rookie
by the
year.
outfield.
Yeah.
Tyler Flowers ended up adopting it in the minors because he heard it at a game that Beckham was at. That's strike 3. And we will go to the 9th inning. Matt Davidson getting ready. 6 up, 6 down in his career.
Sometimes pitcher, sometimes designated hitter, occasional third baseman, every now and then a first baseman. Matt Davidson, 2 scoreless, and retired 6 in a row. That'll be put to the test here with the top of the Yankee order.
He's done it at Texas, 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Home against Toronto just a couple of weeks ago, 3 up, 3 down. And it's Gardner first here in the 9th. Kevin was surprised by that first one, I think. Matt Davidson, a high school pitcher, drops in the breaking ball.
Pretty good hook.
He is so proud of that curveball.
It's a good curveball.
Like through the roof proud of that curveball as he shatters Gardner's bat. Matt should get that authenticated and take it home with him. You know a pitcher's got to appreciate that. Carlos loves it.
That's it. Are you kidding? Break a guy's bat? That's wonderful.
Matt Davidson, who has been walking around the clubhouse the last couple of weeks saying that he's going to throw a bullpen tomorrow, basically every day, has very much looked the part. Breaking ball, and Gardner looked uncomfortable. He fouled it away.
Too close to take. That was hunting the outside corner. So he fouled it off and kept the at-bat alive.
One, two. On the ground, back to him. Wrong guy to hit it to. Out number 1.
Well, in just his 3rd inning of work, he's already had 2 come back to him. That's the 2nd. A little easier play than the 1st.
Time for the cricket smile, and it's a big game, James, and big smile, Lucas. That was on the broken bat, as there's a foul ball from Stanton. So it's Matt Davidson versus Giancarlo Stanton, which you only really would imagine you'd get in a home run derby situation.
Let's hope this isn't one of those.
91 upstairs. One and 2. He was late.
Now break out the hook.
Stanton this year, 145 strikeouts. Davidson this year, 1 strikeout. His perfect career
is on the line.
On the line.
Each and every time.
1 and 2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Davidson guns down Stanton 2 away.
That was a good curveball in the meantime. Not for a position player. This is just a good curveball for anybody.
Don Cooper, what do you think of that curveball?
He's going to Disneyland.
He's seen it before.
He's seen it before.
It's old hat now. 2 out, Didi Gregorius. Coop's thinking, now I got to find another guy time. One and 0.
And guys, yeah, this is nothing new for Matt Davidson. He grew up a pitcher in high school. That's all he did. He wore number 51 in high school in honor of Randy Johnson. He's got a fastball, splitter, curve. He said after his last outing that he'd like to pitch more often. 8 hitters he has faced in his major league career. He's retired all 8.
All 8 of them. Oh, that was close, and he didn't get it. So 3-0 on Gregorius, and that perfect career is hanging by a thread. Hicks is next. 3-0. He lays it in for a strike. Took a little off at 88.
I like his pace.
He knew he'd be taking it.
That's right.
That's why he just laid it in there.
But he acts like a pitcher. I mean, he's got all of the mannerisms. He takes it very seriously. On the ground and just wide of first. 3-2. So, Steve, how do you put him away?
Well, I know what I would do. I think he's probably going to go with a fastball, however.
You don't think splitter here?
Oh, maybe. I mean,
he regretted that first time not throwing the splitter to get a strikeout on one of the 2 batters who put the ball in play. Oh, he threw a high curveball. And finally, somebody reaches against Matt Davidson. This all started in Texas on June 29th. Matt Davidson behind door number 1, and he came in to get himself a 1-2-3 inning, including that strike 3. He started to run off the mound and had to slow himself down because he remembered he's not a position player at this moment. Aaron Hicks swings through a curve. Look, you're bound to give up a base runner, right? He walked.
He absolutely pitched around him to get the Hicks.
You think that was intended?
Oh, yeah, no doubt in my mind.
That ball is ripped into right center field, and the first hit allowed this year by Davidson is a Hicks single. Well, it was a fun ride. The no-hitter for his career, and now he can crack a smile. Hicks is like, what? What did I just see?
Might as well pick up a hit as long as you're up there.
Now time to bear down. A deep breath, and Torres takes a ball. We'll see how Matt reacts to that first hit. Now Kevin Smith's going to go talk to him. Hey, remember what we discussed in your bullpens? You wouldn't expect that Matt Davidson is reading the scouting report on Yankees hitters before the game. Although
I wouldn't think so.
Although not in the lineup, you could make the argument that that would be time well spent if you're going to be a two-way player.
Kevin has seen him for a whole game, so he's pretty well assured of what he wants to do with each and every one of these guys. In the meantime, he's behind.
Well, you know, sometimes when you don't have your best stuff, if you can work through trouble, scouts are very impressed. That ball is in the air. Short right field. Avi is there. And New Babe gets out of another scoreless inning for the Sox. New Babe, Matt Davidson. out against a position player. He's decided to no longer play. For tonight, Shane Robinson is checked in to play right field in place of Stanton. Or he's just getting half an inning off. More likely the latter. Bottom 9. It's Sanchez, Abreu, and Palka coming up. Ball number 1 to Sanchez, who walked in the first inning, then grounded out twice to the middle infield. So Lance Lynn tonight, 7 1/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, this is about as good as we've ever seen Lance Lynn. He was just brilliant tonight. Stayed ahead of everybody. Used all of his pitches. Threw mostly fastballs, which is usually what he does.
Just throwing strikes sometimes.
Yep. That's
Gets
what
you
he
to the
did.
finish line. Yep. Guided foul. Tomorrow 7:10 start time as Davidson once again hangs out with his guys now. He's one of them. I mean, look, 3 innings.
And nothing. One hit. Yeah.
1 walk. Two balls and 2 strikes. So 2 night games, Tuesday, Wednesday against the Yankees. And tomorrow's starters, it is the ever young CC Sabathia against Lopez. To right field, down the line, fair. Will this be another triple for Yomer? No. He'll take the double to lead off the 9th.
He was thinking about 3 bases, then realized 7 runs down, nobody out in the 9th. You best check it up at second base, which is what Yomer did.
Coming right at you. Now Jose. Sox are 8 runs away from earning Matt Davidson his first career win. Strike 1. And 2 on Jose. Sox with 11 strikeouts tonight, 2 walks. A.J. Cole with 2 of those strikeouts for both of the outs he's gotten so far. Oh-2. In the air, left field. Gardner back. And he makes the play. Sanchez will not tag.
It would look good leaving the bat and then just kind of hung up in the alley. So Gardner had all kinds of time to roam back under it and make the play.
This was not a good time to see the Yankees, though they had lost 5 in a row. You kind of felt like they were going to be a little agitated showing up here after being swept by Boston.
Well, they got what they really needed out of Lance Lynn because he took it in the 8th inning in just brilliant shape. And then the offense was just enough early. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, another 3 in the 8th, and that's that.
Strike to Palka, who singled in the 1st. Had a lot of people compare him to Dan Pasqua. That is the #1 comparison you'll hear for Dan Palka. And I asked him before the game if he's ever heard that, and he said, oh, like 30, 40 times he's heard Dan Pasco. This one deep to left field. Gardner has a play. Sanchez will tag this time. And with 2 out, Yolmer to third.
Just as we promised, it's time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment, and it came courtesy of Adam Engel. He goes back as far as you can go and robs Bird of a home run. What a great play by Engel. It was indeed out of the ballpark if he doesn't make the catch, and he makes it at the top of his league.
Nice of adult Jeffrey Mayer not to get involved.
Very nice.
Two down for Avi. And strike one from A.J. Cole. Sanchez at third, the prospective shutout breaker. One. Sox will get up and do it again tomorrow. Today would have been a 5th straight win for the first time this year, but the Yankees, at least to the edge of outnumbered 27, have been too much. Three and one from Cole, who's walked one, allowed a hit, and gotten 2 strikeouts. Pitch number 30 of his night. He has a swinging strike 2.
Got a pretty good slider, does Mr. Cole.
That fastball slider combination is the reason the Nationals thought that he would possibly be a starting pitcher for them in the future. A couple of struggling years, and now in the Yankee bullpen. 3-2 is grazed foul. Yankee fans anticipating a final out. They travel well, you'll give them that. Three and two. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. In the air, left side of the infield. And the Yankees win the opener by the count of 7-0. Lance Lynn had it in for the Sox tonight.
Yeah, just one of those games where the boys were never really in this one. It was all Yankees. They came off a disappointing series against Boston, put one away early in this, and then the pitching made it hold up. So better luck tomorrow. We'll do it same time.
See you then. 7:10 first pitch. Lopez versus Sabathia. Thank you for joining us as we say farewell For our producer, Keon Dolachahi, our director, Jim Angio, our associate producer, Dave Ross, our technical manager, Mark Harper, our executive producer, Greg Bowman, and the entire NBC Sports crew. For Chuck Garfine and Steve Stone, I'm Jason Benetti. So long from Guaranteed Rate Field. Coming up next, Subaru White Sox postgame live from the booth. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago. Good night.